This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am here speaking with another good friend of ours at Good Food Revolution, Mr. Jonas Newman, who is joining us from Hinterland, way up there in Edward County. How are you this evening?
Not bad, Jamie. Good to see you, man.
Good. It's been way too long, really.
Well,
And talking about the pandemic and the lockdown, it's just been way too long.
Yeah, no, it's been a grind, that's for sure.
Yeah. So tell me, how has all of this nightmare scenario impacted you up at Hinterland?
Well, it's certainly a different vibe in the county.
Yeah.
Things are changed. There's not many people around. The roads are empty. The farm doesn't care. The farm just keeps going. Plants grow, and we continue to work in the vineyards. We're short our workers from Mexico. Jorge arrived 3 days ago, but he's still in quarantine for 11 more days. So all hands on deck, and we're trying to keep up. It's been a forgiving spring. It's been dry. We've been able to get in the vineyards. We've been able to get the tractors in, so it hasn't been too bad.
So in the winery, it's basically a one-man show most of the time right now. So it's just you in the winery, right?
Yeah, I mean, all our staff. So the way we're set up, a lot of our our front of house staff or our tasting room staff will help out for bottling, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, they're not at work right now. So yeah, we haven't been doing a ton of bottling. We put the wines to bed properly last fall, and we're just kind of sitting waiting until we can fire up the machine again. We got some bottling done just after Christmas and just before this whole thing went down. So we're okay for inventory at the moment, but starting to wear thin for sure.
Which brings me to my next question, which is, how is business? I mean, I don't know how much of your percentage of your business was restaurant business. I'm thinking about accounts receivable. I'm thinking about the impact on your online sales because you don't have the store door anymore.
Yeah, I mean, my heart goes out to the folks in restaurants. I mean, through no fault of their own, they're stuck and they're the one left holding the bag in the hospitality industry. Vicki, my wife and partner, has done a pretty spectacular job over the years building up our online presence.
Right.
And we've sort of taught our customers, if they can't make it down to PEC, we can certainly get wine to you, and we'll figure out how to get it to you. You don't have to worry about it. So it's been not bad. It's been pretty good. It's been keeping us afloat for sure, and keeping the bills paid and keeping diesel in the tractors for now. But you wonder, it's a lot of goodwill, and we're grateful. You just wonder when, are they going to get tired of it and stop ordering,
Yeah. And then with regards to your restaurant customers, and because you had pretty good restaurant penetration with your wines, right?
Right. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I'm counting them all to come back and be stronger. I mean, we're forgiving all their invoices for now, and we're just leaving them be and let them recover. And I hope they all come back as strong as ever.
Yeah, that's very honorable of you because hospitality is in a terrible shape right now. I just did an interview yesterday. I published it with Associate Professor Bruce McAdam from University of Guelph.
Yeah.
And we had a very serious chat about where things are going with hospitality. And it's definitely dark days. There's no way around it right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those, they're clients of mine, but they're also friends, and they come around now and again, or I chit-chat with them on the phone and stuff, and they're keeping a brave face, but behind it all, they're hurting. I mean, there's just nothing they can do. I mean, they can do the takeout thing and all that stuff, but I mean, it's not really, a lot of these restaurateurs, they built an experience, and they're not able to do that. It must be very frustrating, super frustrating.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're out in Prince Edward County. You said the roads are really, really quiet. What are your thoughts about the way our government has dealt with things, both on a local, provincial, and then federal level?
That's probably a question better for Vicki. I'm not much of a political animal. You gotta sort of leave it to the experts, to make sure that everyone stays safe and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I would love, and it's the same thing as I was talking about before. I mean, a lot of Hinterland a lot of what we've done is create a really nice experience when you come to the winery. It's fun, it's light, it's not too pretentious, it's all those things. And I just can't see us doing that in a really great way with masks and plastic cups and that kind of thing. It's just not, that's not who we are. But I mean, if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. We'll listen to the guidelines and we'll follow along. We'll do the best we can.
Well, I guess we do have the advantage of being able to observe how easing of lockdown is happening in Europe in particular. I'm not even looking at the States right now.
No.
but just
from the beginning.
Goodness me. I every time I turn on the news, I just shudder when I start reading about all of that. So
yeah, it was poorly handled on their part. I think, I just wonder, I mean, the severity of it all and the number of deaths and all the rest and stuff, you got to believe that we were doing the right thing. You got to believe that, but, you have to believe that. It just seemed like logical. And how Canada's doing relative to the rest of the world seems to be really, really good, So, it's short-term pain, I hope, for long-term gain.
Excuse my ignorance, but have you had many cases up in PEC?
There was a little breakout, of course, in an old folks home in Belleville. I have a couple friends who are doctors. They said there was one fatality in Belleville.
Right. Okay.
Right now, people are pretty loose about it in the county. There's not a lot of mask wearing and stuff. And I don't want to say it's business as usual, but people are a lot less. I mean, I've been to Toronto to drop off wine at LCBOs and all the rest. And it just seems there's a lot more fear in Toronto and Ottawa than there is here.
Well, I think that comes from population density more than anything else. Right?
Probably one of the advantages.
I mean, if you're going to a supermarket, it could be a potential hub for any pathogen, right? Because simply so many people pass through that supermarket.
For sure, and I mean the supermarkets and the grocery stores and the banks and all that are following the exact same procedures and protocols as anywhere else in the province.
Yeah.
It just seems that because we just don't have the same sort of intensity of cases here, that people are a little more relaxed.
I must ask, when you were doing deliveries, are you wearing a mask and gloves?
I am not. I'm wearing a mask now. I wasn't at the very beginning. I haven't done a delivery in a couple of weeks. We've been leaving that to our courier. But it was a drop and run kind of thing. You drop and sort of say, there it is and stuff. And there wasn't a lot of conversation with our customers and all that. And then sort of the data on cardboard is apparently 16 hours you can live on cardboard. So we let customers know that when we're saying we're coming to fulfill your order and we're just going to leave it on your step. And we recommend you leave it. But
there's lots of conflicting information out there because I've read that it's 72 hours in cardboard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's conflicting evidence on the whole thing. I mean, suddenly there's a cure, suddenly this drug will take care of it, suddenly, the heat will take care of it or whatever. So, everyone's doing the best they can,
Well, I never thought I'd get an opportunity to use all of those black latex gloves that I had, but
you had a good store of them in your basement, didn't you?
I had a lot of them.
That doesn't sound like you at all.
So you were mentioning about your workers and your seasonal workers. You said there's one guy who's in quarantine right now.
So Jorge arrived on Thursday, and on Friday rather, and he's been in quarantine for whatever day it is now, so it's 5 days.
Right.
And I feel just terrible for him. He's sort of stuck in a room watching TV. The other guys aren't here yet. Their visas were late. They closed the visa office in Mexico, so we're still waiting on visas for them. And it's
How big is your seasonal worker crew usually?
Sorry?
How big is your seasonal worker crew?
Last year was 5. This year it's 4. Daniel elected to stay home this year. Okay. But this year we have 4.
Okay, and so they'll all be in time for everything that's needing done in the vineyard?
Yeah, essentially we work together out in the farm and stuff. Jose, who's not here yet, he's been growing grapes in the county at various farms for 13 years.
Right.
So he's my vineyard manager. And then Jorge has been doing it for 3 years with me, probably 10 in the county. Cheque has been doing it quite a while. He took a bit of a hiatus, but he's back in the county. And the other Jorge, he's new to us. He was working out in BC, but he knows quite a bit about farming grapes too. It took me about 5 years to get this crew, and they are all like stellar.
Personally, Jonas, how has this impacted you and your family? I mean, your kids are both going to be at home, right?
Yeah. For me and my life and what I do every day, not a lot. I mean, I still go to the farm and I still work. I mean, I'd love to see a little more of my friends and stuff. It would be great and stuff. But my work hasn't been that affected in terms of the vineyard and the winemaking and stuff. My kids, I like, especially my oldest. Well, both of them. He needs people. He's a very social guy and stuff. And he's hurting because of this. There he is. So.
And how are you managing the whole homeschooling work balance thing?
We have a great teacher for both of them, and we're doing our best to keep up. I mean, it's difficult to motivate them some days in the morning, but we're still learning. We're trying to learn something every day. They're both helping out at the farm, which I think is a form of learning too.
I was wondering if you would have them put to work.
Yeah, they're packing orders and cleaning bottles.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So one of the cool things that's been happening with us is that we've been checking in with some of our winery friends, in Niagara and around the county, and we've been just like, hey, how you hanging in? Oh, we're doing good or whatever. And then, do you want to trade a case of wine? We'll be like, yep. So we'll ship them some of our stuff, some back vintage stuff. They'll send us some stuff that they're releasing, and it's been cool.
Very nice. You're not doing virtual tastings or anything like that?
No, I'm not. As you probably gathered by now, I'm not super great at Zoom. Yeah.
Well, I've done a couple of those virtual tastings, and it just, even if you have the wines, it just doesn't really work because you don't get the same kind of eye contact. You're not
right.
You can't tap someone on the knee. All that nonsense. I miss tasting. I have to say, I miss tasting with other people.
Yeah, I miss people coming to the winery that maybe I've never met before, and then just them showing an interest, and then pulling out all the stops, dragging them into the barrel cellar. All that stuff is really what I miss about having people around.
Well, Jonas, hopefully, in some matter of time, I can come up and see you and come and taste with you again.
That'd be amazing.
Thank you so much for your time tonight and your patience with the technology.
Oh, well, no, that's just county internet.
Hey,
thanks,
take care.
Yeah.
Bye for now. Cheers.
Cheers, man.